Yeah, well, talking about the economy, obviously, things are not real good, both here in the U.S. and certainly in Europe and Asia. Australia, Canada, across the globe, it's China. Everywhere seems to be slowing down and looking a lot more fragile. COVID, the pandemic had threw things around, and you had a couple of years where, because of all the money printing, the globe had a rebound, and now you're running into all the inflation issues, of course, and central banks leaning against that inflation. My view is that the central banks, and the Fed in particular, is has tightened too much, and yet they're out there with pretty much every day telling us that they're nowhere near done, that there's a lot more tightening to go. So that spooked the stock market, and you've spent most of this year in a bear market. I believe last Friday, or last week, and yeah, Friday basically, we completed a retest of the lows from June, and I think we've begun the next leg up. It's not gonna be straight up, and it's not necessarily going straight from here. You may fill in the gap that you had Monday, things like that. So, but I do think we probably have seen the lows, and if by chance we haven't, which I don't think that's the case, but if by chance we haven't, the lows aren't that far down. And yet the consensus is that we have a long ways to go. I think most people think, given the Fed's stated intention to tighten for at least the balance of this year and into the first half of next year, um, I think the consensus believes we're probably going down to 3,000, 3,200. I don't think that's going to happen. And in fact, I have the opposite view, where I think, like I said, we've successfully retested the lows, and that will probably, in the next 6 months, make major new highs, with my target being S&P 6,000, NASDAQ 20,000. So that's viewed right now as insanity, very extreme. But I think there's a very good chance that we're beginning that move now.